Good morning, everybody. This is John Big Dog Wagner doing my video in my North Face. My wife bought me this. She went shopping while we were in Vegas, and she found this North Face outlet place. I'm glad she got it. I appreciate it. It's 31 degrees here in Kansas, so it's cold. It's cold. So this thing works, keeps me nice and warm. Wish it had pockets though. Anyway, I want to address a couple issues on this video. The first thing I want to address is we are coming into the winter months. Got to be careful out there. There are drivers out there that are dumb. They're just dumb. That's the only way I can describe it, is they dumb. We've all seen them going down a hill. Their truck is governed at 62, 65, 68 miles an hour. And for some reason they want to be fast. So they let gravity drive their truck. Well, these same idiots, you go into the winter months, you got cold ground, cold brakes, snow on the road, ice on the road, and they still let gravity drive their trucks. I ain't a scared driver. No, you about to be a dead driver. You dumb. You got guys out there where, being the faster truck is the most important thing, and I'm just like, I don't get it. My truck will do almost 80 miles an hour. My cruise control is 73 miles an hour. I set my cruise control and I let it go. The thing that pisses me off is I pass a line of trucks and guaranteed there's somebody there with a booster. And they hit their booster and they get on my ass. Excuse me. They get on the back of my truck. And as soon as I change my lane back over, they want to run past me. But then as soon as they get past me, they get in front of me and go back to regular driving. They come back off the booster. Well, if I already passed you on my cruise control with your regular driving, what was the purpose of using your booster to pass me? Because I'm just going to pass you again. And then I pass them again, and they get back on their booster again. So I've gotten to the point where I hit my gas. I get just a little bit faster than what their booster will take them. And I watch these dummies run their booster out. That's not what the booster's for. If your truck is set to 68 miles an hour and your booster will give you 70 miles an hour, you come up on somebody who's driving 67 miles an hour. You can hit your booster and you can pass them in a timely fashion. Get in front of them and go back to your 68 miles an hour. That's what the booster's for. The booster's not to be racing. And if you're going to race somebody who's going to pass you naturally, that's just dumb. Because you already know they're faster than you. What, you're going to keep leapfrogging them until your booster runs out? So I pass you at 73, you hit your booster, you pass me at 74, you go back to freaking 70 miles an hour, and then I pass you again at 73, you hit your booster, go to 74, and then you get back in front of me, slow back down to 70, and I pass you. So we're going to do that for 30 minutes until you got no booster left? We're going to play leapfrog for the next half an hour? And then when your booster's gone, I guess I win, because now you're stuck at 70. You're just dumb. Just dumb. So because there are dummies out there actually like that, coming into the winter months, I mean, we all seen crashes going through the summer. Some of them people can't control. Some of them just actually dumb. Going into the winter is going to be worse. Give more space between you and the car in front of you. We all know how these four-wheelers like to get in front of us and hit the brakes for whatever the reason. And you never know when you're going to hit that patch of ice. You never know when you're going to hit that, especially on the East Coast. They got black ice everywhere. You never know when you're going to hit that patch of ice. So don't get caught up in the dummy game. Don't get caught up in letting gravity drive your truck. Don't get caught up in... Be safe. Be smart. I've had people ever since I've been trucking. Oh, you scared. You scared to run downhill. You scared to... No, I'm not scared. I'm not stupid. I mean, we've all had times where we're going down the hill and we get sidetracked, and next thing you know, you look at the gauge and you're doing 85, 90 miles an hour. It happens. I hit my engine brake, start tapping my brake to slow the truck down. It happens. But my goal is not to let gravity drive my truck. My goal is for me to drive my truck. So more often than not, I'm controlling my speed. And I watch these guys fly past me, letting gravity drive the truck. And then as soon as we get down the hill and we're back on the flat land, what happens? All that speed they had is gone. And they're right back to the governed speed of the truck. And I cruise right by them. Beep, beep. Hope risking your life was worth it. Next thing I want to talk about, haters. Haters. They are going all out. Don't listen to this guy. He don't know what the hell he's talking about. He's not a real trucker. He's not a big dog. He's not a this. He's not a... I had a guy just write fucking a 4-page letter on the comment on one of my videos. One of the biggest things people talk about is not your truck. It is not your truck. They take your truck whenever you want. Haters. People who have had that happen, what they failed to mention, they weren't making their truck payment. And if you're not making your truck payment, just like any other thing you buy, you lease, whatever, if you ain't making your payments, they're going to take it. Period. But the excuse is, oh, they took it for no reason. Like I said, people don't admit what they do wrong. They're not going to tell you, I went 6 months without making my payment. They're not going to tell you, I chose to sit at home for 2 or 3 months and not drive my truck, so I wasn't making my payment. What they're going to tell you is for no reason, they took my truck. I know people who've been with the company for 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. Oh, he took my truck for no reason. I've been with the company for over a year now. I still got mine. So evidently there's something wrong in the reasoning. You get other people that come on here, they say, you're not a business owner. Okay. Where you can sign a contract under your name, they recommend you come in with an I don't get paid by Super Ego. My LLC gets a payout. I pay taxes like a business owner. And all of my stuff is under my LLC. I don't have a W-2. So let's look at it. A business owner pays a fee for his motor carrier license, right? I paid that fee. A business owner is responsible for his own insurance, right? I pay for my insurance. A business owner is responsible for his truck and trailer payments, right? I have a truck and trailer payment. A business owner can accept or turn down whatever load he wants, correct? Same. A business owner gets paid based on the load, right? Same. Business owner is responsible for his fuel, responsible for his repairs, responsible for his expenses, right? Same. Just that a business owner has all this stuff broken up in like 10 different places, and here all the stuff is in-house. Why is it in-house? Because like I keep telling you, Super Ego is not a trucking company. It's a car sales company. It's a car sales company. Actually, it's a truck sales company with in-house financing. How do they guarantee the in-house financing? They provide you all the tools that you need as a business owner to run your business. Now, if you out there and you don't understand that, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I had a guy come at me talking about, you can't call your broker and deliver your load late. You not a real trucker. You're not a real trucker. Seriously? How many times, while being not a real trucker, have we been on the road for a delivery, have our time, everything managed, everything scheduled, you get a blowout? It's going to be at least an hour, 2 hours before road service can even get to you, plus the time of the repair. So you stuck on the side of the road for 3-4 hours. How many times you had an airline go because you caught a gator in the middle of the road, or the line just got old? So now you're not on time for your delivery. You gonna tell me that you have never contacted the broker ever to see if they can push back a load? Really? Now, yes, there are companies like Walmart, Amazon, where they have a specific window. If your delivery time is 5 p.m., you have to be there at 5 p.m. Your window was from 4:30 to 5:30. If you're not there in that amount of time, you missed your appointment. True. But first thing is, not every company's like Amazon and Walmart. So some companies you can call. Actually, some companies right out the back, when you book the load, it tells you first come, first serve. Your appointment's at 6 a.m., but it's first come, first serve. We're open until 4 p.m. As long as you can get there before 4 p.m., you ain't got to make the phone call because you know you got all day to deliver that load. Other companies are like, well, we base our day based on our deliveries, but you know, as long as we know what's going on. So you call them and tell them, hey, I'm going to be a couple hours late. Okay, no worries. We'll just bump up the other guy and we'll work you in. So you've never gone to a delivery and they never told you we'll work you in. He does say, however, you can call and get another appointment. True, you can call and get another appointment, but what if they got a slot open later that day? Does that mean that they can schedule you a couple hours later the same day? But I'm not a real trucker. I mean, they come on here, they make these long, trying to show how smart they are. And in showing how smart they are, they're showing how dumb they are. You said you turned down the load going to Pennsylvania. You damn right I turned down a load going to Pennsylvania. If I am already on the East Coast, I know that the best I'm going to get, if I'm lucky, is $2 a mile going to Pennsylvania. And I know that run is going to be all mountains. So for that 300, 400 miles, I normally spend $150, $200 in fuel. I don't need anybody to, oh, you said gas. In fuel and diesel, that's going to cost me twice as much because it's all up and down mountains, up and down hills, up and down. So I'm not going to hit my $500 a day, first off, taking a load to Pennsylvania. And then out of Pennsylvania, what do you get? Loads $1.50 a mile, $1.60 a mile, going to New Jersey, New York, Massachusetts. So you ain't making your money to begin with, and now you got $300, $400, $500 in tolls. Nope. Or you can get a load down to Florida. And going into Florida, you'll get $2 a mile. But then coming out of Florida, especially off season, what you getting? $1.20 a mile? Or you could deadhead to Georgia, get a load for $1.60, $1.70 a mile. So if I don't want to put myself in that position, then I'm not a real trucker. Okay. This last time I was on the East Coast, I took a run to Vegas at $2 a mile. North Las Vegas to be exact. Then I deadheaded 4 hours down to Ontario and got a load coming back to Kansas for more than $2 a mile. So my gross for the week is over $7,000, almost $8,000. My payout for the week is just under $4,000. But I'm not a real trucker. You tell me when and where that makes sense. I could stay on the East Coast, drive Pennsylvania, drive the mountains, and do all this other crap and not make my $500 a day. Or I could turn down the load and do what I just did and make better than my $500 a day. Okay, well, if that makes me not a real trucker, if that makes me a puppy, as he said, you ain't a big dog, you a puppy. If that makes me a puppy, But your hate and your jealousy and your stupidity, you are making very clear. Thank you for taking your day to give me one more view, to give me one more comment, to help boost my videos. I appreciate it. Haters' comments count too. Haters' comments count too. So, you know, that's like football. I'm a football fan. I'm a Cowboys fan. Seems like everybody out there hates the Cowboys. But yet everybody out there watches the Cowboys game. So at the end of the day, when you look at which teams are most viewed in the top 5, it's always the Cowboys. If you a hater, you a fan. As far as the ratings go, if you a hater, you a fan. Thank you. Same thing with this. The more that come on here, the more that comment, the more that watch my videos, you're just making me look good. You're a fan. Thank you. But the comments y'all are making, y'all haters are making, they just don't make sense. The smarter you try to sound, the dumber you really show you are. No real trucker runs East Coast unless they live there. If you live on the East Coast, yeah, you go home. But the moment you get back in the truck, you're getting the hell out of there. Why is it states like Florida got 1,000 trucks waiting for a load? Because they were dumb enough to bite the bait. And they took that load at $2, $2.20, $2.40 a mile going into Florida. And now they stuck because the best you can get is $1.20 coming out of Florida. And because you got so many dummies sitting there waiting on a load, hoping to get something to at least cover their fuel to get out of there, is the reason why the rates are so low. You got more trucks there on a daily basis than you got loads going out. That's why the rates are so low. That old supply and demand. If I got 10 loads and I got 100 trucks available that wants to run them, shit, they'll take anything just to get out of here. But if I got 100 loads and I only got 10 trucks here to run them, I got to convince them to come get these loads. So I got to pay some money. And any real trucker who is running his own business knows this. When you're a company driver, you're driving for cents per mile. So let's say your rate is 50 cents a mile. It don't matter if you deliver in Florida, Maine, California, wherever. Your rate is and forever always will be, as long as you're with that company, 50 cents a mile. But when you are an owner, or as some of y'all say, a fake owner, not a real owner, and what you make is based on what the load is paying, you know the numbers. And you know the states to stay out of. And the only way that you're going to make money worthwhile out of Pennsylvania staying on the East Coast is to go to Florida. But the moment you go to Florida, you stuck. So no. Once I deliver, I don't take a load to Pennsylvania. I get back out to the Midwest. Now, if I'm on the West Coast and they got a load going to Pennsylvania, 25, 27, 2,800 miles, and they want to pay me $6,500 to run that, and the load is only 20,000, 30,000 pounds, I will run that shit all day. In fact, I'll go back just to get another one to run that shit all day. And that's the only way you're going to find me in places like Pennsylvania, Virginia, West Virginia, etc. Because they paid me a lot of money to get there. But then once I get there, I'm out. I am out. When I first started doing this, I didn't know any better, and I got caught in that East Coast trap. And I would spend weeks up and down the East Coast and not making no money. I deadheaded 500 miles to get out of the East Coast trap. Of course, at the time, I had a dumb dispatcher. And then just because I wanted to make money to compensate for all that up and down shit, I took a load going back to the East Coast, which was my mistake, and then had to deadhead 600 miles again to get off the East Coast. Now that I'm more experienced, now that I know better, now that I know that I can tell my dispatcher no, it's not just no, it's hell no. No, I ain't gonna do it. No. Period. No. Only two ways you're gonna find me running the East Coast. One, they paying me a lot of money to go there. Or two, for personal reasons. I was born and raised on the East Coast. Sometimes I want to go home and see my family. If it ain't for one of them two reasons, nah, bro. You ain't gonna see me on the East Coast. If the money ain't right, and I ain't visiting my family, nope. You got too many trucks on the East Coast to begin with, so the rates are terrible. It's hard to go anywhere on the East Coast, especially northern East Coast, without spending $70, $100, $200, $300 a toll. And then, especially in the northern East Coast, you got streets that are they're colonial streets. I've had deliveries where I've had to back up the freaking road just so I could get to the delivery. I've had to have cops come out and help clear the road just so I could make a turn. Now, if you could tell me you drive the East Coast and you've never had to deal with that, bruh. So no. Yes, I'm a real trucker, but no, I don't drive the East Coast. No, I do not do loads into Pennsylvania off the East Coast. No, it's not worth it. To me, as a business owner, fake business owner, whatever the hell you want to call me, it's not worth it. Now, if you want to pay my bills, then you can make those judgment calls for me. Until then, I'm going to do what I do. Because I know I average over $3,000 a week take home. Used to be $1,500 to $2,000. I done got better at this. I done got good at this. So as y'all tell me I don't know what the hell I'm doing, okay. I average over $3K a week take home. How many of y'all real truckers can say that? I get guys coming at me talking numbers. Well, I'm a company driver and I make over $100,000 a year. Okay. My fuel is over $100,000 a year. Who's making more money? My truck payment, my insurance, all that stuff, that's over $60,000 a year. Who's making more money? And at the time that we had this conversation, I'm averaging $2,000 a week. 52 weeks, it's $104,000 a year. In 5 years, I own my truck and trailer. In 5 years, what you got? And that 60 grand that I was paying a year for my truck, I no longer have that truck payment. So now who's making more money? You see what I mean? I get all these haters that come on that make all this yap with all these dumb comments acting like they smart and they saying something educational. Oh, don't believe him because he's full of whatever. Okay. No, it's not for everybody. One of the reasons why it's not for everybody is proven by the hater comments in the comments. First off, to run your own business, you got to have common sense. Y'all ain't got none. You can't call the broker and let them know you're going to be late. Really? So what are you going to do? Just not show up? You have to call your dispatcher and let him know that he needs to get another appointment. Okay. So you call the broker to let him know you're going to be late, or you contact the broker and let him know you need another appointment. What's the difference? What's the difference? Next is going to be you shouldn't even have a broker's phone number. Anybody who runs a load as an owner, what's one of the first things a broker does as soon as you pick up the load? They contact you. Some of them are automated. They want you to activate the GPS tracker so they can track the load. Some of them are automated and they're constantly asking you, where are you located? How far to your delivery? And some of them actually call you and say, hey, are you the driver for load? Blah, 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 blah. How's it going today? So they can call you, but you can't call them. Got it. The broker's even got an AI guy that calls you. It sounds like a real ass dude. Calls you up. Hello, this is so-and-so and so-and-so from company blah, blah, blah logistics. How are you doing today? Wonderful. I got halfway through the call before I realized I was talking to a robot. So the broker can call you, but you can't call the broker. Him calling you is how you even got his number to begin with. So how much sense? The broker is calling you to ask you what's your ETA. The broker is calling you to ask you, is everything going okay? The broker is calling you to make sure that you're going to be on time. But you can't call the broker and say, hey, I know I said that I'll be there 15 minutes early, but I just got a blowout. I know I just got out the phone with you an hour ago and told you I was going to be on time, but I just got a blowout. And the fact that you used your common sense and made that phone call, you're not a real trucker. Wow. Wow. So I appreciate the attention. I appreciate the added points to mark up my channel each time y'all come on here. But I just really want y'all to know how dumb you sound. I just really want you to know how dumb you sound. Anyway, for you guys who are looking for an opportunity, this video benefits you as well. How does this video benefit you as well? Because as you see the hater comments, you start to realize them for what they are. Are there people who make it in this business? Yes. Are there people who don't? Of course. In fact, to be honest, you have more people who don't make it than you have people who do. Why? One of the biggest reasons off the bat: they never take the time to learn the business. They've been a company driver for 10, 15, 20 years. They know what they're doing. But as a company driver, they have never done what they need to do to be a business driver. So they never take the class. They never sit down and learn what they actually have to do. So then they get out there as if they're running forced dispatch and take whatever load is out there, and they don't make money. I ran into a guy a couple days ago at a Love's. He pulled up behind me. I was like, I'm gonna run in, use the bathroom, get something to eat, whatever. And he's like, don't worry about it, take your time. My wife's taking a shower. All right, cool, that's easy. And he's like, how are you doing with Super Ego? I'm like, I'm doing good. He's like, yeah, I worked with them for a while. It didn't work for me. I wasn't making no money. I was getting loads that weren't really paying nothing. I'm like, I'm on a load right now. 1,800 miles over $4,000 for the payout. He's like, really? You must have a good dispatcher. So your dispatcher wasn't good and you stayed with it? Well, it's not like you can change your dispatcher. I'm like, bro, I've been through 6 dispatchers. I had a dispatcher who was good. He got hired to another company. Then I got a dispatcher who sucked. I fired him. Got another dispatcher who was good. He went to another company. Then I had a dispatcher who sucked. Fired him. Then I got another dispatcher who was all right. We worked it out for a while. He got hired to another company. Got another dispatcher who sucked. Now, number 7. He's new, but he's ambitious. So we doing good. We had our talk. I told him my expectations. I told him how to get there, how to do his job to get me where I want to go. And we doing great. He's like, oh, I didn't know that you could change your dispatcher. I'm like, bro, he works for you. You don't work for him. That 25% that comes off the top every load, you paying them for their services. They work for you. Oh, I didn't know. Didn't you go to the orientation where they explain all this stuff to you? No. Second reason, they don't want to break down the load. They don't want to learn the details. Oh, it's going here, so it's got to be paying good. You got bad loads and good loads going everywhere. They don't want to break down the load. That's too much work. So they have no clue what they're making. 3, they don't want to drive. They want a parking lot pimp at the truck stops and they want to go home. Those are the 3 biggest reasons people come here and fail. Those are the 3 biggest reasons people come here and fail. But yes, there are a lot of success stories. There are a lot of failures, but there are a lot of success stories. And the failures, a lot of them want to get on the YouTube and they want to say, this company sucks. But they're telling themselves. They telling themselves. I drove every day last week, drove out my entire clock every day last week, and I only made $200. Okay, if you're being honest about driving every day last week, if you're being honest about driving every day last week and you only made $200, whose fault is that? Had you broken down your loads to begin with before you said yes or no to them, you would have known before you started driving, before you even took the loads, that if you take those loads for that week, you was only going to make $200. At which point, what should you have done? Told the dispatcher, no. Right? So if you actually drove as much as you said you did, and you only made $200, then you the one that took the loads. You accepted the loads. That falls on you. That's part of being an owner. Now, if you're a company driver and you get paid by the mile and you drove all those miles and you only made $200, you and your boss need to have a talk. Because you are literally working for pennies on a dollar. But as an owner, it is up to you whether you take the jobs or not. And if you accept them, and at the end of the week you only got $200, that's on you. And if you don't know how to break down a load, and you don't know how to figure out how much money is in a load, and you don't know how to figure out, then you need to go back to Elmhurst and sit your butt in that orientation class, the one that you said that you didn't need, and learn how to do this job. Or just go work somewhere else. But stop lying. Anyway, this has gone longer than I expected. I got things I got to do, hit my weights and get myself ready to get on the road because I have an appointment at a Walmart at 6:30 this evening. All right. Be safe out there. Talk to you next time.